versus Varun 5. We're hopping into the lobby right now. Our first players are going to be Seether and Seoris. Seether playing for BearMe and Seoris going against him as Varun 5's champion of the night, a TVZ Catalyst LE. Start things off, and here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Hopping right into it, not gonna waste any time. Do you know why? There is no time to waste. It's StarCraft hour. It is SC 2 o'clock. It's just a little bit half past remastered time. But we are loading into the lobby here. It should show up in a second. Don't worry about that black screen. Spawning up here in the top position. He plays for SYF, but tonight he is BearMe's Seether. And his opponent, he is Genghis Khan himself, the Mongolian terror. It is Seoris. So we're going to be having the exact same map pool as last time. The map order has been predetermined, and we should be seeing very, very good games out of these guys. Seether is very quickly becoming one of the best in the region. He's been playing for at least since 2017 has begun, and he's really shown that his workout regime of playing that ladder, getting those points, playing against some of the best, has turned him into one of said best. Recently picked up by SYF to play in the new Pro League coming up for the ANZ region. He is showing to be one of the best Terrans in the region. Might even be the best now that Aegis has started playing Zerg. But so far we do see pretty standard builds out of both sides. Not really going to be testing each other's defenses just yet, as we have a Reaper coming out to get that expand nice and safe. Spawning pool first will allow Seoris, if he wanted to move across the map and do a bit of damage and deny that command center for a bit, force the Reaper to stay at home. We'll have to see if he does decide to do that with his first set of Lings. But if he doesn't, they will just deflect the Reaper for the time being, making sure that nothing really goes down, no drones die, and just allowing for the Queens to get up, which will shoo the Reaper away, but it is coming across the map as we speak. Nice, crisp and clean build orders out of both guys. Neither side really getting supply blocked here, as everything they're doing is just part of the build, even just bringing the Queen down. I'm going to shoot that Reaper away, make sure no information is given, and Seether is going to respond by getting that reactor with that factory, making sure that he's going to be ready for the next stage, which it does look like it's going to be Hellions. Hellions, one of the more popular options in this matchup. It gives you really the ability to do quick damage versus your opponent, forces a reaction, forces more units than really they would like to be making at this point. Zerg is one of those races where you would really love to just defend with as little as possible and go up to that 70 to 80 drone count. From there, just kind of pump units until you kill your opponent, because that is the real strength of the Zerg player. Nice droning up so far. That Reaper once again just going to get shooed away. Gotta wait for the Hellion reinforcements as the creep starts to spread. So far we only have 3 Queens out on the map. He's definitely going to be making more of those as the Reaper goes down, signaling the start of that third base location. But this will be a very concentrated Banshee Hellion push. The Hellion is very good for damage, as is the Banshee. We'll have to see if Seorus does decide to get detection here. So far, there are no Spore Crawlers on the map. All he has are these queens, no lair in sight either. So he's going to have to be very careful when dealing with this. We don't see an armory out of Seether either, so it does not look like this will be a Hellion push. But gonna get that third base as well behind this. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, super duper committed, but it is committed enough where if he loses all of his units without doing any kind of damage, he's gonna be in a bit of trouble. Banshee gets spotted across the map, so Spore Crawlers do come down, and they will finish up. But this base is going to start to go down. 3 drones going down so far. Always nice to see some damage done with the Banshee. Might even get the Spore Crawler here if he's not careful. Cancel goes down. So he does save some of his minerals. But so far, this Banshee really is worth its weight in gold. We're just killing off 5 workers as we see Seether starting to go for that mech style. A lot of Terran players have decided that Bio is not as effective versus Zerg anymore, so we have been seeing a lot of players start to refine their mech styles. Even Beyond, who I must admit I've never seen use mech before, has started using mech on his stream, getting that style much prepared so that he can show why he was dominant in the first place. But yep, the Banshee still just being annoying. Starting to weaken a lot of drones. Doesn't really get the kill on him just yet. Really wants to finish those off, but he can't do so for right now. Double Thor on the way, as well as a load of Hellions. Still not moving out is Seether. Really the strength in Hellions is being out on the map and giving map presence, but there we go. He is going to start moving out here, playing it very defensive. Seorus going to move across, try and get a little bit of damage done. Will he get in before this wall goes up? And it does look like he does get in. This is going to be a bit annoying to deal with. But the Hellions, since they're not on the map, they are able to just come home and nothing will go down. Save for a couple of Hellions. This is going to prompt Roach Warren and the Hydralisk Den, which is on the way. So we're going to be seeing Roach Hydra out of Seorus, more of a reactionary style than anything. But here we go. See, there's first big push. That armory is complete, so we could be seeing a lot of Hellbats here with Thor support. What is there on the other side of the map? It is currently 61 to 34. Take a look at the unit count. Only 21 Lings. This is going to hurt. Like, this is going to the dentist, him saying it's not going to hurt, and then it hurts. And here we go. The Banelings not morphed in just yet. Good spread on the Hellbats. So far this push getting a lot of drones. Starting to clump up. The Hellbats, they're starting to go down, but it's not really in a way that is that's important, as these Thors in the background just absolutely wrecking everything. And that just wrecked my throat saying that. 1 second. So excellent damage coming out of here for Seether. Thor can't pick up because of that medevac being so low. But now both of them are just going to get away. And that's really going to stunt the growth of our Zerg players. So far, 16 workers going down in this game. So Seorus isn't down and out just yet, but it is going to cost him a lot of time and a lot of larvae to get back up to that position that he was in. And the big thing about mech is you don't really want to take a lot of damage, because you want to be out there fast expanding, getting more bases on the map, and kind of just starving out your mech opponent with your while getting up to Hive Tech, getting Brood Lords, getting that later stage tech with the upgrades. Because otherwise, Mech is just going to steamroll you. Hellions just kind of coming around, making sure nothing's going on. We'll have to see if this Spire is effective. Already we do see Thors out on the map because of that last push, so if Seahorse does try to go for a Muta transition, he's going to have to be super careful. Might just be for Corruptors though. We'll have to see. But the Infestation Pit is going to go down as well. So Seahorse just kind of playing it safe. As you can see, he's very far behind in terms of army count. So there's not really that much you can do against this map presence of Seether. Even has to be careful with this small amount of Hydralisks. These are Blue Flame Hellions. Trying to get this around, but not going to get it just yet. He will pick these off, so that is very nice. And we now see the Muta transition. There isn't that much anti-IR route, I must say, just these two Thors. So as long as he does avoid the army, he should be okay. See, they're not really expecting this. Has not thrown up any sort of turret in any of his bases just yet. Scan's going down, however, trying to get a read on this army, as Seether is going to be pushing once again. Mutas are all popped. Where'd they actually all go? There they are. The question is he going to try and gauge this with the Mutalisks, or is he going to swing around? It does look like he's going to try and get on top of these. Has to be careful. Magic Box is going down. Starting to lose a few too many, but if he can take out these Thors, then he's going to be in a good position. But it doesn't look like he has enough just yet. All the Mutas going down, and this has not gone too well for him. Great micro out of Seether. He's making sure that those Thors pick off every single Mutalisk before dying, and GG is called. So a fun idea out of Seahorse, but unfortunately Seether was ready for it. And Seether will move on to the next match on Odyssey. Getting random invites. One second here, I might be in the wrong lobby. Yep, the next map will be Odyssey LE version 0.7. just me being weird. But yep, we're gonna be hopping in to the next game here. So thank you guys for tuning in so far. Just needs a second out of our Varun player. Probably should update the score. I'm just moving crowns around. But here we go, guys. Next game in this best of 7 series. Seether up 1-0 with his team BearMe. Here we go, spawning in the bottom position, the challenger. It is OSC Elites, aka Varun, BearMe. And his opponent, he's up 1. He's a force to be reckoned with. It's Seether. So, Demelove is a really good player. He's been around the scene for at least a year that I've seen. Maybe even longer. If you guys know Demi. He is a really fun player to watch. He's got some very interesting styles. Sometimes he breaks out the cheddar, but when he gets to the later stages of the game, he can be very, very solid. And even now, we're going to be seeing some very, very fun stuff out of him. Looks like he's going to be going for a 3-hatch before pool. Except he's going to throw down the spawning pool and completely ignore what I said. Instead, he's just going to be looking for proxies here. It would have been interesting if he would have taken that 3rd base at the goal. That would have been very funny to watch. But it does look like Seether is going to change it up a little bit. Going to get that marine opening, which does allow him to start picking off overlords across the map before they can start to get scouting information. And that's always a good thing. You do sacrifice scouting information to the Zerg main, but it's worth it to kind of deny these overlords from getting into position. Because if these guys do get into position, you're not really going to be able to take care of them until medevacs come out and you can actually get vision of this high ground location. But will he get it is the question. He's very low. It does look like Demi has made a goof. But that does confirm that there is no Reaper on the map. So Demi does know that he is able to just go around and kind of just scout around with these lings, make sure nothing is going on this side of the map, making sure that things are going good his way. Once again, we're going to be seeing Hellions coming out. 2 at a time. Hurrah, hurrah. Looks like he did want to try and cancel that CC, but he is a bit too late for it. And yeah, looks like we're going to get into the 2nd stage of this game. Ooh. See, the fact is he has not thrown down the tech lab just yet. Kind of tells me we're going to be seeing a Hellbat push here. We see the medevac, it confirms it, and yep, this is going to be a Hellbat push. Very popular back in the day. Has kind of waned off a little bit. We saw Special do it in the round of 4 at BlizzCon. And we always going to see it around. It's one of the staples of the Terran build orders. But we'll have to see if Demi can stop it. This Overlord not going to be able to get in there to see what's going on just yet. He did scout that the starport was making something. He might just think it's a Viking, however, as that is more common. But here we go. The Hellions are moving across the map. The medevac is full up of units. The army is just about to complete. There are no servos on these guys just yet. We do have a bit of a fake here. Cloak going down. And here we go. The Banelings did complete just in time, however. He has to be careful here. Is Seether. Good splits, good connections, but is it enough? Queen's getting on top of this. The medevac did go down. Wants to go for those drones. That's really the big damage that you need here to make this push worth it. Isn't gonna get a shot off, and this push looks like it has been shut down for the time being. So good defense by Demi. He's going to go into the second stage of this game well and truly confident that he can defend anything that's thrown his way. After defending that push, he knows that his opponent is going to be on the back foot for a little bit while he rebuilds. And that's kind of the thing about a Hellbat push, is that it does kind of force the Terran player to invest very heavily into it if he wants to make it work, and it does put him behind a little bit if it does not. He's going to keep 4 Hellions out on the map, try and make sure that there are no Ling run bys while he gets his third base up, finishes his wall as well. But now we do see the Banshees coming out. This was spotted for a very long time, so we should not see too much damage going down, especially as the lair is up and mobile detection is on the way. We will get the scout off of the Hydralisk Den. That's always a nice scout. Getting 2 workers so far, bruising a couple more, denying gas mining, which is very important for those Hydralisks. Yeah, these Hellions kind of just chilling out here. They can't really find an opening to get in. One more kill going down, but the Banshee has to get out of there before it dies. Its replacement is already on the way though, cloaked for a very long time. He's now going to come in here. 6 drones going down. But Demi's just going to respond by making 13 more. So we're definitely at that stage in the game where Demi can start to kind of just focus on units. He's going up to 63 workers, may just want to add a couple more as the Banshee starting to get picked off workers. So far only 2 kills. Get the cancel off on that Spore Crawler for a bit. But yeah, once again, we do see mech play out of Seether. That's double Thor drop, gonna head across the map. And we'll have to see what Demi's reaction to this is. Demi probably watched the last game with Seoris, and he knows he does not want to make the same mistake. So what will his reaction be? So far, we just see the upgrades. A lot of activity going on this production tab, actually. Staying relatively even with his Terran opponent, which is very nice for him. As long as you can stay kind of even at this stage, not take too much damage from these drops, maybe even pick off the medevacs with the Thors in them, should be relatively decently off, as all the Queens do have to stay over here to prevent those Hellions from getting in. Gonna focus down the medevacs. Does he get one? No, not just yet. They live to see another day. This Hellbat push might actually get this base. There aren't enough Queens here to transfuse, however, so he does have to get out of here. One thing to note, that this is the new patch, so if he wants to, he can actually get an upgrade called Smart Servos, which allows him to go much quicker with the transformation. Not just for Hellions, but also for Vikings and pretty much any unit that does transform for the mech armory. It's not really in use right now just because of cost. Maybe in the later stage of the game, if it gets that far, we will see that happen. But it would be interesting to see because it would allow him to just be a bit more effective, as he could do run-bys and then kind of just transform and get out of there a couple of times over with Hellbats and Hellions. But we will have to see, as both players just kind of taking up for the bit, making sure that their armies are the best they can be. Demi going for the standard Hydra Bane, which is always a good choice overall. It's not very cost effective, as Lings really aren't very cost effective versus mech. But nice little scout off here. Going to see the Thors coming in. That will allow him to be in position for when they get to the main base. Sorry about that. Small run by of Banshees. Going to get 5 workers at this base. And that hatchery going to go up as well. One Banshee does bite the dust, as the Thor's going to decide it is way too dangerous to go in there. Even the mighty Thors can't beat what this Zerg is cooking. Hellions just kind of gearing up to go in, but never really finding that window of opportunity. But Seether has found his own window, and he's going to be moving across the map. Going to try and end this game with one big push, as he is completely and utterly maxed out. Hellbats are going to transform. They're really there to soak up a lot of those hits as those tanks start to siege up. Great tank line, and this is really a dangerous push here for Demi. He can't take too much damage to these siege tanks, otherwise he's going to be in a world of hurt. A great surround is getting prepared, however. We'll have to see if he can do it effectively. But yeah, just being very patient here. He's waiting for something, and that's the signal. Blinding Cloud's going to be going down on these tanks. Great one so far, getting 5 of them down. And a lot of these tanks going to go down, but is it enough? It does not look like it. A great move out of Demi, but a lot of these units are still around. Gonna have to rely a lot on Banelings and not so, and this reconnect of Hydralisks. He might be able to clean this push up, however, just because there isn't a huge amount left. But this base will go down. +2 mech is very, very powerful. Once again, we see the surround. A bit early to the party. But what really can Demi do at this point? He really has to clean this up before he can say he wants to do anything. Bailey's going to march right into the Hellbats. A good concave is being set up. Question is it enough? Tank fire is absolutely reigning supreme, and GG is called. So Seether will take game number 2 and move on to the next match. It looks like I am offline once again. So let me take care of that real quick. Yeah, small issues with the server today, guys, so sorry about these small delays. See, now I don't even need an invite. I can just insert myself into the game. But it will be up to Varun to decide what is their next choice. Will they send in another Zerg, try and beat Seether that way? Will they try mix it up a little with a Protoss? Or will they just go full on Terran? It does look like it is going to be Aiga's. Aiga's recently switching to Zerg in late 2017 according to his Wikipedia page. So we'll have to see if it's up to snuff really versus Seether. We did see last week that Aiga's did very well in his match versus, I believe it was, my memory's escaping me, sorry guys. But yeah, he did exceptionally well with his Zerg. He absolutely destroyed his opponent. So will he be able to do it against Seether? These guys have a bit of a history with TVT in 2017. You know, taking games off each other. Ike is usually coming out on top just because he does have that experience that has really pulled him through some very tough games. But Seether is gonna try and eke out a match point here for BearMe. It's gonna be very interesting to see. And it does look like having the lobby bug. And it does look like we're gonna hop into game number 3, Ascension to Ire. Wrong region. That can be a bit of a nuisance. Both of these guys do play on Australian server. Well, actually, since they're master, they don't get a choice. They just play on the NA server and hope to whoever's listening that it's Australia. But we are ready to go. Countdown has started. Ascension to Ire version 0.8 made by Blizzard. With a nice little dose of WCS GameHeart version 1.13. I don't know why I'm telling you guys even the numbers, but you know what? Hey. Might as well while we're killing time. And here we wait for it. Wait for it. Okay, and while we're waiting for it, guys, if you haven't noticed down here, we got a nice little code here. If you want to type in Maturino in the chat, you can see where this code takes you. If you just type in that little code right there, you get $1 put towards the prize pool. Support your favorite players in the Southeast Asia region and donate. It's completely free. It doesn't cost you guys a cent, even though it's donating. It's someone else's money. It's basically printing money. As we're still in the loading screen. 1 second, guys. Let's make sure that everything okay. Uh-oh. Yeah, don't worry, you guys aren't missing anything. We're on this screen. I hope this isn't me. There we are. So, without further ado, the next challenger. You may know him as a Terran, but he's gotten a little buggy lately. It is Aigas, representing Varun 5. And looking to take it to bring his team up to match point, it is the indomitable SYF, aka BearMe's Seether. So once again, we're going to see these guys play it out a little bit standard, it looks like, just to start things off. Going to go for a nice safe hatch first. Probably followed up by Gaston Pool. That is a very nice build to go for if you guys are tuning in at home, trying to learn Zerg builds. This is pretty safe as anything goes. And I see they're pretty much doing a gas first. Actually, no, it was Rax first on the other side of the map. Looking to get that Reaper out. Possibly go straight into Hellions once again, as that has been his mode decorum. I don't know Latin, so I did not use that right. But he will be throwing down his own base at the natural. Yeah, things are going to kick off, guys. So while we got a couple seconds here, I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in so far. This is a great league. If you guys have not heard of it before, the SSAC, the SEA Open Team League qualifier guys, have done an amazing job putting together something for the Southeast Asian region. They have been a cornerstone since the last season, making sure these guys get a nice little prize pool with sponsors like Dank Shrine coming in this season, making sure that this league could happen. And yeah, a lot of other great people involved with this. So if you see them around, if you see them on ladder, don't cheese them. Give them some cheese, aka some cheddar, aka some dough, and let them know you appreciate what they're doing. Let them know that this kind of grassroots organization is what keeps StarCraft so fresh, especially in a region like the ANZ, where it's kind of hard to find events sometimes, especially for players of this caliber. You know, there's a lot of open cups where they do dominate, but they're not really made just for them. They're more made for everybody, and you know, just let them know you appreciate what they do. Reaper gonna get shoot away here while we're making sure everything is going on. Illusory has dropped, so we're going to have to see what's going on with that. But I think we're just gonna keep going here for the time being. Warlord gonna be shoot away. Bit of a difference here from last game. We're going to see a couple more Marines being forced out, so it does look like we're going to be obviously not using English very well, but we'll be seeing a bit of drop play coming out. Got 4 Marines and a Widow Mine so far. A couple of Hellions on the way as well. This might be double-pronged harassment. We'll have to see if he can do anything with it. The Reaper's still alive. Even just getting that Overlord will scout out, however, that this is coming and will allow him to be in position. 11 drones on the way, so he will be ahead in terms of that income, which is very important at this stage for the Zerg player. Making sure that he gets up to that nice healthy 70 to 80 worker count. And here we go. And just focus down an Overlord. That's very risky these days, just because with the new balance patch, Widow Mines do reveal themselves when they are used. So you have to be careful on what your Widow Mines go off on. Hellions gonna get spotted by Aegis. Gonna throw down a Roach Warren. That will be his choice for this. And this small amount of harassment is going to just get shoot off, as Seether once again is going to be going for that very powerful mech play that we have seen in the last 2 games out of him. Just 9 creep as well. That's super important versus Zerg. Didn't even pick off the Widow Mine here. Not much damage being done. Only 1 drone going down and 2 Overlords. So okay damage, but it's not really game ending. You know, not really going to see that kind of game ending damage with a small amount. I believe the Hellions actually just came in as well and got absolutely roasted. You can see they didn't really get much here. Just lost them all for pretty much nothing. Ling's gonna be out. With that, the Lings do kind of have free range of the map for a little bit of time. We'll see there does know this, and he's gonna keep his Hellbats at home, making sure that nothing comes in here. Wall does not get made, and the Lings are going to get roasted. Wouldn't mind. Doesn't need detection, as you can kind of see. It reveals itself. And we do have roaches on the way with the roach speed, so he's kind of learning from the past couple of games, knowing that Seether is probably going to be going for this mech play, as these Banshees going to come in here. And he's making a good adjustment, I feel. Going to just get the units he thinks he needs right away, but 11 workers going down. That has got to hurt. Push is actually going to hit before there's really much anti-roach. He might be able to get some damage done on this 3rd base location. Gonna force the Hellions out, and they absolutely tickle roaches. Floors here in the back have to be protected. A little bit of indecision here out of Aegis. He's not really knowing what he wants to attack just yet, as this Banshee being very annoying. About to run out of energy though, so that will get picked off as these roaches start to get pushed back here. Good pickups. Gonna make sure that those weakened ones do not get taken out just yet. And with the tanks out, this aggression is pretty much over. One thing I really like how to see this play is the addition of those 2 Thors, which does prevent kind of a Mutalisk transition, which we do see out of Aegis. One big thing as well is if you do decide to go Mutalisk, you really do have to avoid those Thors, as both players are kind of starting to float their income a little bit. Probably just not enough larva. Yeah, there we go, a small larva count as he's going up to that Hive Tech infestation pit on the way. Small spikes right about now. That is not good. I really hope the players are not feeling that at the moment. But, yeah, game is still shaping up, guys. It's going to come in here, going to get some nice juicy drones, or SCVs here. Nothing really in position. The Hellbats going to get picked off before they really get anything done. Only 2 workers going down so far. He's really trying to avoid those Thors. Getting 8 workers so far, that's always a nice pick off. Does not lose a single Mutalisk yet, looks like. And yeah, now he really can just be annoying with these, kind of poke in to that third base, especially as there's not much in the way of missile turret, only one down here. We're gonna get the scouting barracks, that's always nice. But now that we have Thor production coming out, he's just gonna focus heavily on his ground army, getting those upgrades, getting tunneling claws as well. That one I'm not 100% sure of for the roaches, just because this does force detection out of Seether, these Mutalisks. So burrowed roaches won't be able to do as much as you would imagine. Especially without burrow, that's kind of an important part of it. But gonna get a deny on this fourth base. That's always a nice pick off. Even gonna get it killed off. Maybe. There we go. Can't really engage into here though, as those tanks did decide to siege up. 13 workers going down. I think Aegis should just get out of here. He can't risk losing his entire army here. Even a small split off. Looks like he wants to go to that third base location. But he's gonna lose a bit more of his army. If he can get some of these Thors, that's very nice. So good play so far out of Aegis, just kind of splitting his opponent's attention. Yeah, getting a Thor, getting 8 workers for all of this, not too bad. This is going to tell Seether rather, that he wants to move across the map and start attacking, as he has shaved off a lot of units. Oh no, Aegis, you have to be so careful engaging into this. Tanks are sieged up in the back, and all it's left are Hydralisks, squishy Hydralisks. Once Seether gets into position, it's going to be very difficult to break him with this army. There are no blinding clouds out, but actually it does look like Aegis may hold this. No, there's not much left here, and he does have a huge supply advantage. Look, 107 to 52, and he's just pumping Roach Hydra, forcing Seether to go home. You see those Vipers gonna start popping out now. Just one for the time being. He doesn't really have that much supply to work with here, as he is almost maxed out. Can't engage into this, but I guess so far making all the right moves. Probably just trying to shave off a couple of units here, but he has to be careful. And yeah, very nice move so far. Just trading out unit for unit. Really wanted to get that tank, but he survives with 7 kills and 7 health. Drop's gonna come in here as well. So yeah, Aegis has a very big advantage here as he goes up to that +3 attack. Has to drop right now though. He's actually gonna lose this. Lose it for free is not very good. But it is currently 5 base to the 3 of Seether, and that income advantage is just skyrocketing in his favor, as you can kind of see. Mules are the one thing keeping him in this right now. But it's 23 workers right here. No 4th base anywhere on the way. He knows he can't afford to build that up, so he's building it in here. But yeah, it looks like he's just going to try and come in here for the killing blow. There's plenty of blinding clouds. Hellbat's loaded up trying to drop on top of this. But he is going to back off, is Aegis. So neither player really wanting to throw away this game. But yeah, Seether knows that at this stage, he does have to play a bit defensively. Try and get back into it. Otherwise, he's going to be in a world of hurt if he tries to move out. As he burrows, the roach gets scanned right on top of it. Yeah, the big thing now about this map is that the 4th and the 3rd are so far from each other. Mech is going to be very difficult to defend both of these. Good roach play. But yeah, I mean, it's almost, you have to leave a few units here and there just to defend. Not something you really want to do at this stage, as that Hydra army can just absolutely go crazy if there aren't that many units around. The gas is going to be so important for Seether to keep this going. It does look like Seether will get this base up and running. Going to start transferring the workers. He needs that. He needs the money. He knows it. He's starting to chew through that bank as Aiga's is just starting to get a huge one. Even though this base, I don't know. Are there burrow drones here? I can't really see them. But adding on the corruptors, gonna be going for those broodlords soon. Either gonna do a bit of damage here. Always nice to do some drone damage. Getting 7 workers is always nice. That bank is making it a little bit easier for Aigas to kind of rest easy, even though he is going to go for 12 more workers behind this. He's at a very healthy count. And now let's take a look at the air army here for Seether. He's got a good number of Vikings to take care of those broodlords. He's obviously anticipating the broodlord transition. But Aigas doesn't look like he's going to be morphing too many just yet. Get some parasitic bombs as well, and the air army we were talking about is getting annihilated, and that makes it that much difficult. But those Hellbat drops getting right on top of the squishy Hydralisks. Very good engagement out of both sides, really. But Aigas is just able to remax almost instantly. Bit of lag around here, guys. I do apologize for that. I don't know if it's me, but since the players haven't really said anything, I'm going to assume that it is just on the viewing side. I'll try and fix that after this game. A couple of sacrificial overlords here, it looks like. But with the air army gone, now we can start to see those broodlords start to come in great effect as a bunch of SCVs start to go down. Thor's on the way, Vikings as well. Doesn't really have that much to make both, and this position may go down. It's gonna be neck and neck. 20 workers so far. Hellbat's gonna drop right on top of this army, but there just may be a bit too much. Corruptors taking care of the air, forcing those Thors to stay back. Gotta be careful with the corruptors though. Can't be focusing down the medevacs when you should be focusing down those Vikings. Oh man, this is close on both sides, but it does look like Seether is gonna break out on this side, force the broodlords back, and this position is held. Although, at what cost? 36 workers to 76, 91 army supply. This is Seether's defiant last stand, it looks like. A bunch of corruptors in the air, not going to do too much. But this next surge of units might just be the case. Broodlords coming on home as well. And with this army going down, I don't know how Seether's really going to get into this unless he plays super defensive. Especially since he lost a good majority of his workers at this base. This base starting to mine out. So he's effectively only on one base mining. This one almost done. As you can see, that one's not going to do him too much good from now on. But I think this might have been a small mistake to get this many corruptors, as Seether's choice to defend against this has been Thor's. not so heavy on the Viking count, as Thors are very, very gas intensive units. But yeah, now Aigis does have that kind of position where he can start to move in. The ground army not doing too much, just taking out the Hellbat support, allowing those broodlings to get on top of the Thors, but he has to back up and choose his fights very carefully. Bear in mind, these are fully upgraded Thors, so they do a ton of damage to these broodlings. But GG is actually called. Aigis will put his team on the board. So an exceptional third map here. Seether is going to drop out. And we are going to hop into game number 4, guys. But I will hop out of game entirely so that I can fix the disconnect problem. So Aigis showing that he can be dominant no matter what race that he plays. Just has the mechanics of years of being a professional gamer. And I bet he has the support of some really good Zerg players to give him kind of tips and advice, because he is on the same team as Demi and a couple of other great ones. Gonna hop into game right about here. Next map, we're finally into... Actually, no, we're not. Never mind. We're not into the new maps just yet. We are in the Abyssal Reef, which is the last old map. Catalyst is a new map, but it just doesn't feel like one, to be honest. That's why I haven't been saying that we're into the new maps, because Blackpink, Neon Violet, and Boardwalk are really the ones that feel new. Catalyst doesn't really feel that new, to be honest. So Abyssal Reef is going to be... I'm actually going to keep this guy secret till we hop into the lobby. Only thing I'll let you know is it's going to be a TVZ. See if we can get into this game. If you guys are ready, the challenger for today's game is soon to come. Don't worry about the black screen, guys. It's just because every time I relog, it has to re-render the scene. So spawning up here in the top, he took out the king of BearMe. It is Aigis. And his opponent, the challenger. He's looking to get it up to that match point they're so desperately looking for. It's Azure. A little bit of a first-person view there. But once again, we're going to see some pretty standard stuff out of Aigis. He's really refining his Zerg builds, making sure that no matter what comes his way, he's going to absolutely dominate. We saw he's just really good at getting to that late stage as the Zerg player versus a mech. And see, they're kind of faltering there for a second. But this should be a very fun game. Azure, a really good Terran player. He plays in a lot of the online cups. He plays probably since he's about GM, probably about 4 to 5 hours a day. At the very least, maybe even more. We don't know. We can't see what his hands are doing behind the keyboard, but the one thing I do know is that they are going fast and fast. Currently at close to 300 APM. As we see, he is doing a very crisp, very clean build order here. Been throwing down the supply depot before a factory. That's how confident he is. That's going to go up. A couple pairs of lings should be on the way as well to defend against the Reaper that is coming across the map. Bear in mind, you do need 4 to defend against the Reaper, just because only 2 will mean that he can just kite back relatively easily. And really, those 4 only need to stay on creep and keep him back from the drones until those queens pop. And it does look like Azure is just kind of scouting around for that spawning pool first. 6lings on the way. This does not get seen. But the queen is in position, and this will be shooed away for the time being. The 6lings trying to scout out the Reaper, seeing if they can catch him, but he's way too fast with those jetpacks. He'll scout out the third base. He'll go straight for the main. Gonna try and get a sense of what's going on in this game. They're just gonna poke it down that queen for a second. But we do have these 6lings. Gonna cause a little bit of trouble across the map for those Hellions pop. Gets the wall up. Make sure that he doesn't die. Reaper once again just kind of being annoying. While the speedlings are going to hunt him down and absolutely destroy him. Good grenade, however, might mean he lives. Except for Azure wasn't paying attention for a split second, and that is all it takes in this matchup. Overlord gonna scout the cloak going down. This may be a false flag. It may not be. We'll have to see once this Viking pops to see what is coming out next. One thing to note as well, something we have not seen a lot in these games with the Terran player, we haven't really seen too much of the Reaper, not Reaper, but the Raven. It's like a flying Reaper, except it doesn't shoot anymore. And that's possibly just because the new patch has absolutely neutered its offensive capabilities. I still think, it's a pretty good unit for supporting the mech pushes, It does have that defense drone. It can prevent things from firing. It does have the ability to do that. It can heal your units, just like a medevac. So I'm really surprised I have not seen too much more of it. If you Terran players who are much better than me wanna let me know what you guys think of it, feel free in the chat. Also, Light VIP, thank you for the donation. I just see it in the chat. You are awesome, man. Thank you so much for supporting the esports scene, especially in this region. We always need supporters like you, and yeah, thank you so much, dude. You know what, just for you, it looks like Azure is going to do a nice hefty little drop here with 4 of those Hellions. Come in here as he gets his little mech build started. It's a really nice position actually. The Banelings have not morphed just yet. So if he wants to get on top of those and just cancel them actually. So far so good. This drop doing a ton of damage, even just indirectly by him making that mining time go away, the way of the dodo actually. Only getting 2 workers so far, but again, just take a look at this income tab. 500 minerals a second is just going down the drain. But here comes the main push. This third base will be going down. There is absolutely nothing to defend this. All the banelings did get canceled. So Azure doing a lot of damage. Once again. Chance chooses on the Queen, gonna save him from now, but there is no energy left. I lied, there's one more, and actually, hey! Repair drone from the Raven. Looks like Azure is effectively been using it in this game, and I have not been paying attention because I am a bad observer. But yeah, it does look like Aegis is in a lot of trouble here. Really getting pushed around. Guessing the Raven got taken out. It actually didn't. It's just not around for this push, and why? Who needs it now? Cyclone's starting to get low, so they probably do. Actually, where is that Raven? There it is. So that is actually going to be it for Azure. He is going to get that match point. So a very good game out of Azure there. He's going to make it 3-1. As I have to relog once again, guys. While I'm doing that, I'm going to update the scores so that you all know what the skinny is. That works. So yeah, once again, thank you guys for tuning in so far. As we're on match point for BearMe. And we hop on to, again, one of the new maps. Just gonna take a second here while everyone else logs back in, because I'm not the only one having some trouble with the servers tonight. Blizzard, please help us poor StarCraft players out. We all just want to play a game or two before going to bed, going to work, going to wherever we're going on this fine evening or daytime. Depends on where you are in the world. If you're from around the world, welcome, welcome. So once again, this is a team kill format, so Azure will go on, and yeah, Blackpink. Very interesting map. This is the second time we've seen it today. Obviously last time we got into it with some great games. Bystork doing an excellent job of using adepts on this map effectively, but now it's Schnitzel's turn. Another TVZ for you today. Oh boy, let's hope that little disconnect didn't cost me there, but we're hopping in the game, guys. Will Azure be able to close it out? We'll have to see. Don't worry about the black screen. It's only there for a second. But you know what's not here for a second? The everlasting fury of the blue Terran player, Azure. And his opponent, spawning down here in the back, he's Pink, he's Zerg, he's looking to win it all with that banter. It's the Schnitzel. Yeah, these guys know each other. These guys know what it's gonna take to beat each other senseless. But here we go. Already we see a little bit of a cheesy maneuver here out of Schnitzel. First, we got a very early pool here. Looks like Azur is going to scout that out, however, he knows something is up. He knows Schnitzel, and he knows what's going to happen in this game, so he's just going to head over there, see that 6 lings are going to be on the way. That should just prompt him to not overreact, probably just close off his wall, and maybe just build his command center on the high ground. And he does see that that hatchery is not there, so that is the indicator. And there we go. Even just gonna block the engineering bay, kind of force Schnitzel's hand in this. That will delay his own CC, but to be honest, it seems like he thinks it's worth it, and if he thinks it's worth it, then it is all good by me. Gonna throw down a safety bunker, thinking something is up. But it does look like Schnitzel is just going to back off of this, pick off that SCV, and just be content in knowing that he has wasted a lot of minerals on the other side of the map, as Azur, thinking that it's some sort of all-in. And yeah, so far we're just going to see Schnitzel drawn up behind this. So an excellent mind game out of him, I feel. Making it look like a Baneling bust, but there's not a Baneling to be seen. Yeah, I'm loving this banter. It is really fun to watch. Going for that hidden base as well. Blackpink is a very long map diagonally, so it might be a while before anyone sees what's going on. That Cyclone has to be careful not to go out the map. As you can see, he does a lot of damage with the first 2 burst shots. But Schnitzel just going to walk past this. Going to try and get some SCV damage. Not really going to get anything done here, unfortunately for him. Schnitzel already starting to get a bunch of minerals saved up here as he goes up to Lair Tech. So yeah, really fun game so far. Both players on one base for the longest time. Starport just now getting up at the 350 mark. A little bit slower than you would love to see it. Roach Warren as well, since there's only 2 bases. We're probably going to see a Nidus, just considering how things are going and just how this Overlord is going to be going to the dark side of the map. As you can see, there is a very small area here that Azur does not see, which is just prime for roaches. Something I'd love to see, but we'll have to see if Schnitzel agrees. Gotta get on top of these Cyclones. Lings do really good when they can surround the Cyclone. Just be careful not to lose too many Lings here, however. But yeah, this game is just crazy so far. I hope you guys are enjoying it as much as I am. And yeah, here we go. We see the Spire tech coming out. Keep in mind there is no engineering pay, which means there are no turrets, which means there is no defense really against air units. Cyclones are okay, but they don't really do too well against Mutalisks, since Mutalisks can abuse the map a little bit in terms of where they can just jump around. Actually, where is the Spire? There it is. He's not even trying to hide it. If a scan goes down, then Azure is going to see anything. The mind games out of Schnitzel. This is just fun to watch for both sides. These guys must have quite the rivalry. Banshee on the way. Not that good, unfortunately, since there is spores in each base, and mutas are going to hard counter this very, very quickly. Needs to get a scout off on this third base here. See that there is nothing going on. And this is really where you start to wonder, as Azure, what's going on? Where is his other base? He knows there's got to be a hidden base here, because otherwise this wouldn't really continue being a game. Being on one base as a Zerg player for this long is very detrimental to your health. Alien's going to come in, get taken out by the Mulisks. They do get a few shots off, get 3 workers. Definitely not worth it. 5 eventually going down there. And I mean, if we take a look at the income tab, Azure is definitely getting ahead relatively quickly. In all respects, as these Mulisks are out on the map, just kind of being annoying. They can't really get any more damage done as they have revealed themselves. Banshee getting some good work in, denying the gas. That's always nice. For the later stages, you really do need that gas as the Zerg player. But we are going to see a bio game out of Azure, very delayed in terms of choosing tech. Stimpacto has been started for quite a bit now. But yeah, overall, everything's going great. This guy's just going to be annoying, does not want to lose too many of them, but he's just going to pick off a couple of Marines here. Can't really get too much else done. But this base has finally been spotted. Azure knows where it is, and it's going to be a bit difficult for Schnitzel to really do anything against this in terms of the defense. Really wanted to start getting those shots off earlier before that got taken out. So let's take a look at the state of the game here once again. We have a Zerg player who's starting to mine out in his main, losing a couple of mineral patches already. Just barely mining his third base, which is his natural, and had the base for quite a bit. As the Terran player has been pretty confined to 2 bases. He's got the 3rd CC, but does not feel comfortable just yet putting it out there on the map. So the question is, who really is ahead? Azure definitely has the ability to break out in a spectacular way here, just because he's starting to get to that very scary point of Terran, where you start to get that 3-base economy, even though that orbital command hasn't floated out yet. But once he floats that out, he's going to be golden. Especially since we don't see too much else out of Schnitzel here. Again, the Mulisk's going to be annoying. 4 drones going down. Losing a couple of Mulisks here. Wondering where those drones went down. Probably just the Banshee coming back in. But we do see Azure. He's just gonna take out this base, nice and simple. Not much can be done about it. The Roach is gonna pop. Gonna get taken out. Gonna start focusing on the workers instead. That's always a nice choice. At this stage of the game, when Terran starts to get much more powerful, you really can't afford to be remaking workers. You're just trying to pick off the Mulisks. is Azure. Just gonna float around with these medevacs. Try and get a few more of those muties out of the way, but 10 drones going down. That's always nice. Off here as Schnitzel is focusing completely on roaches. One thing to note about the roaches, they are completely unupgraded. We have +2 on the way. So there's really a timer on how effective they can be without going up to Hive Tech, without getting those upgrades. They definitely lose value as the Terran player starts to gain it, but this is a nice pickoff. Getting a couple of medevacs for almost nothing, it looks like. Although the mutas are all dying, so I might not even get that. I think I'm just going to remake those Milus. That's a bit of an odd choice here, I feel. But he is going to move across the map, going to try and break his Terran opponent. Widowmines doing a lot of damage to the front lines. There's just so many Widowmines here. It's going to be difficult to break that with the amount of roaches, especially since a +2 is almost halfway complete. Those are +1 Marines. They do a bit more damage. They've got the medevac support. Big drop as well. It's going to force Schnitzel to go home, and GG is called. So Azure is going to finish out the night as a champion. After a 2-game sweep, taking out Aigas, taking out Schnitzel, it does look like Varun, or BearMe rather, will be your finalists. Let us update the scorecard a little bit just to reflect that. But with that victory, that is the 4-1 needed to move on to the final match, which will come out here soon. But that's going to be it here for the SOTL, the Southeast Asia Open Team League. Thank you guys for tuning in so far. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that follow button. Make sure you guys know when this is going live, so that you can catch some awesome StarCraft action. If you haven't already as well, we do have a couple more Matcherino tokens. Basically, the Matcherino tokens will allow you to get some awesome perks, such as a donation without actually donating any money. And who does not like free money for a donation? I'll show you guys, if you're just tuning in, never used Matcherino before, how to do it. Just so you can know what you're getting yourself into. But if you head to the page right here, it's being spammed in the links below. You hit this little button here that says contribute, and you sign in. You can use your Twitch page. That's quite alright. It just asks you if it authorizes you to use it. Tune in every Saturday. It gives you a lot of stuff right here. You just put in the coupon code down here. It's in the chat. It's also on screen in a couple of minutes here. But you just type that in. You can put a comment here, say fighting guy. And that donates $1 to the stream. We also have some very nice rewards here. If you donate $3, you get your name on the supporter wall. If you donate $15, you get to hang out with me or Micah, get a little coaching session from the Zerg himself. Hunter XX is a really good guy as well. You can get a coaching session with him. Me or Micah will give you a replay pack if you donate $9. Or you get to play a 2v2 Archon match with him if you have $8 to spare. That's always a great reward. If you got a tenner lying around, you can let Tenchi cast your replay. If you don't know who Tenchi is, he's an amazing amateur caster. He does a lot for the community. He's an awesome dude. You can also get a land crate. Got a fidget spinner right here if you're into that sort of